Hey guys, Sandy here, and I am super excited to be playing along with Scrapmadness with Miranda and Laura. So every day they are posting a video on their channel, and every day they have a guest YouTuber post a video along with them, and today is my day. So I've pulled out a few things already that I think I might want. I am actually going to be scrapbooking these film strip photos from a photo booth from a prom that we volunteered at back in May 2018, and I have these photos. Now I am going to be using one of these pre-made mixed media backgrounds that came in the color Kaleidoscope collection. I have some black and gold, some foam, I have some thickers here, some rub-ons, and chipboard and a stencil. So let's see what I can do. Okay, I gotta say, I really do love these pre-printed mixed media backgrounds. They look like mixed media. They're not like the mixed media like speckles and splats and stuff that you see on some pattern papers that just looks like it's printed. I mean, it looks like it is true mixed media. And the fun thing is, you don't have to stop. You can keep on adding more mixed media on top of it. So if you wanted to add more colors, you could do that. Or you could just, you know, add sparkle, you could add shimmer, you can stencil over it, you can just slap some paint over it, you could gesso over it and kind of tone down the color a little bit if you wanted to. So many fun things you could do with these. With this one, I'm just kind of leaving it as is and then adding some stenciled stars to the top. Trying to figure out exactly where I want my photo strip cluster to be, and I decided that I liked that yellow bit off to the side there, and that is part of the reason why I went with the yellow stars instead of pink when I pulled out my Distress Oxides. And that is because that yellow was down on the edge of the photo mat and the photo cluster, so I felt like the yellow could be diagonal all the way down the page, and that makes me stupid happy. Okay, so this little thing is just a great little tool. So I won this actually at Junkie Fest, and it holds your sponge daubers. How fun is that? So I definitely don't have sponge daubers for every single color of ink. I definitely don't have completion syndrome with my inks. I kind of have a whatever color I like, I buy. So that's what has happened. Now there are some more Distress Oxide colors that I want to get. Of course there are. Now I would not mind having the entire set of Distress Oxides because I just love them and I'm really getting into them lately. They are probably my favorite inks right now. So what I did here was placed that sheet of notebook paper between the two layers of my paper because I did not want the Distress Oxides to go onto the black background. I wanted it to end at the white background. I wanted it to be crisp. So this allows me to go ahead and put those stars down on the white portion of my background and not even worry about any of it getting on the black. And then when the stars like run off the edge of the white, they just have a nice crisp stopping point, and that makes me happy. Look at that. Okay, super excited about those stars. I feel like the stars are kind of surrounding the little photo cluster I got going on there. And then I decide it needs to go a little bit of diagonal. So I do the same thing over in this corner, and I'm just adding that ink right on over there, getting that same result where it is nice and crisp edges against the white edge of the paper. And I'm just super, super excited about how it looks. Like I just love it. I really love putting Distress Oxides through stencils. So I figure I needed to add just a couple more stars, just like a little splattering of them here and there. And that's going to do it for my Distress Oxide, and that makes me happy. So I put my little dauber head right back in that little guy and put that off to the side, and now, yay, the stars are looking good. Move the glass mat, and now I just got to figure out how I am going to go about this page. Now, originally I thought that I might just pop these photo strips up on some foam and call it good, but I decided that it needed a little bit of pattern paper, a little bit of layers, and then these rub-ons. Now these rub-ons I have a love-hate relationship with. So I have a love-hate relationship with rub-ons in general, but I just do. So back when I was probably 11 or 12, I used to buy rub-ons at the craft stores and decorate my Bible. So when you opened up the Bible and it said Holy Bible, like I put some flourishes underneath of it, and then I put little flowers and stuff like that. So I guess I was decorating my Bible before it was cool to decorate your Bible. I don't have that Bible anymore. I don't even know where that Bible is. I don't know if I gave it to somebody or donated it. I just don't remember. But I loved that little Bible, and I love decorating it with those rub-ons. And what frustrates me about rub-ons now is the quality is so all over the place. Like, it is all over the place. So these rub-ons, new, sticking to the like the backer paper, it's just driving me insane. Okay, so I flipped through my 6x6 papers, and I had pulled out these colors because I thought that they were a good match for the mixed media on the paper. And I just layered them up, flipped the whole thing over, and then lifted each edge and added some adhesive so it would stay in the exact same position that I had had it in, because I thought that that position was good. But I'm looking at this now and I'm like, oh, like that is a lot of color sticking out the side. And that wasn't the vision that I was going for. I wasn't thinking I need lots of color sticking out from these photos. Really, I just wanted a little bit of color just popping out. And I wanted it to be colors that matched what was going on in the background. So I pulled them in some, because I mean, it was just too much, guys. Like, there was just too much going on right there. So then I slap that down. I grabs my unfun foam, and it is not fun because there is no adhesive already on the foam. I know that you can buy fun foam pretty cheap, but you can buy unfun foam like even cheaper. And the way I see it, the money that I can save on those kind of things is the money that I can spend on the really like fun and pretty things. So, you know, I got my unfun foam going on, especially because I picked out sheets of it on clearance for pennies, like literally pennies. So these rub-ons, I am doing the same thing that I did with the stars, where the rub-on is going to only go to the white. It is not going to overlap on the black. And did you see that? Part of the rub-on stuck to that backer paper. Just so frustrating. So I lined up my little pencil mark that I made with my rub-on sheet. And I'm just going ahead and putting this on here. And really, I probably could have rubbed these on with my fingers and not even worried about it, because they just stick so well to the paper. Now, those little teeny dots probably needed a little bit more, but whatever. Look, it's done. So this floral rub-on right here that has the pink and the yellow and the pops of black, I'm thinking this is a great match for my layout. It's got my colors. It's got the pink, yellow, and the black. Now this is where I'm thinking I'm going to be strategic. I'm going to do with this rub-on what I do with a floral die cut if I only have one of something and I need to stretch it. So I decided I'm going to cut off a little bit. I cut off that little hunk right there. And then I put my rub-on down, and it frustrates me so much because I kind of dropped it and it wasn't exactly where I wanted it to go. So when I went to pick it back up, it was already stuck to the paper. Like, portions of it were already stuck down. That was super frustrating because then I had to leave the rub-on right there. And it was just frustrating. Like, I'm frustrated, guys. And this little bit of rub-on that I decided to save and cut off, doesn't even get used because it pulls off and it sticks to the backer paper. And then when I'm just putting the rub-on back together, like it sticks to the tip of my finger, and you can see like right there, I was trying to rub it off. It's stuck there. I had to, after I was finished with this layout, I had to go into the bathroom and like scrub it with a cloth to get the rub-on off my skin. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? I have some rub-ons that I can't even get off the paper, and I have some rub-ons that are basically jumping off the paper onto anything else. But a little tip, if you have older rub-ons that you're having a hard time getting them off, one of the things I do is take my heat tool and kind of warm it up a little bit, and then like lay it down on the page then and rub off. And it works. Like, it helps. It definitely helps. I wouldn't say it's like a fail-proof method, but it definitely helps. It's not like, don't throw away. If you have some favorite rub-ons that are old and like still sticking to their sheet instead of what you're trying to rub them on, try that before you throw them away. Now, I wanted to use that yesterday, today, tomorrow chipboard because the theme of the prom was Forever Young, and like, we just had so much fun at the senior center with this prom. They had like a DJ, they had dancing, they had a plated meal, and it was just awesome because we were there, we were volunteers to help make sure the prom went well, but we were part of the prom too. So we got to sit with the seniors at the senior center, and we ate with them, and we had the same meal, and we danced with them. There were a couple ladies that, man, those ladies had better moves than any of us did, and they were just like beautiful on the dance floor, and it was just a lot of fun. So much fun. So I just wanted to use that chipboard because it resonated with me with the theme of the prom. And then the chipboard that said smile for the camera, I felt like that was completely appropriate because we're in a photo booth. Now, that is a plastic acrylic doily that I'm layering up with that epoxy heart. And that epoxy heart is from Scrap Happy Studio, and she just has the most amazing little epoxies ever. So I was super excited to use it. And I almost went with the yellow, but I felt like the yellow was a little bit too pastel for what I was going for. So I grabbed a label, because everybody needs labels in their lives. And the label was a little bit too long. So the only thing I did was cut the label in the center and then glue the label back together underneath of the epoxy bit. And I liked the contrast between the darker pink heart and then the lighter pink label, because I have the light and dark pink going on in the mixed media in the background. So this little rub-on, you can't really see it on the camera, but it does say celebrate. So I thought that was cool to add on there. And then I'm just digging through to see if I have some more florals I can add, because my rub-on piece that I cut off kind of went downhill. So I found this large floral, and I think it's a Paige Evans flower. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it is. And I cut it in half because I need to make it last. Like, I need to spread it around the page because it's the only one I have. And I figured there's no way to screw it up like the rub-on one got screwed up. So I just go ahead and figure out where it's going to go, where it's going to sit and look good. And I kind of put it so that smile for the camera is nestled over the flower. And I am completely happy with that. I'm thinking about adding some more florals because I'm flipping through this little box right here. But the only thing I find is this one glitter leaf that I have. And I decide to add it up here on the upper left-hand side of the page because I have the gold thickers that say prom, but really there's no gold over here on this side. The rub-ons, the little like stringy cascading rub-ons are gold, but there isn't anything over there, and I felt like it needed something. So the last little embellishment that I'm going to add is some hearts, and I decided to put 6 of them on, so 3 in the upper part of the page and 3 kind of at the lower part of the page where the embellishment ends. So I'm basically doing this on a diagonal, but it's kind of a stunted diagonal, like it's shortened. So the diagonal doesn't go from like top left to bottom right, it goes from top left to like lower right. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I could like show my hand motions over top of the layout, but because I'm definitely using my hands and talking about it while I'm doing this voiceover. Now these Steakgoddess stickers are so old. I mean, so old. They're probably one of the first stickers I bought when I started scrapbooking. And I had a bunch of them because I thought when you bought something, you needed to buy a bunch of them because what if you ran out? So even when I first started scrapbooking, I had that mentality. And that is what led to the madness that is going on that I have right now. But I'm over that. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to buy a bunch. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to use it. And that means I can buy something else. So that's my new philosophy. But I still have some of the purchases from the old philosophy. Okay. So I just slapped that sticker down on some white cardstock, kind of like I do with clear stickers to get rid of that clear stickerness because it's not my favorite. So I layer that on there and that is going to do it, besides the one little bit of journaling I add where I say that we went to prom. And that's okay that it's only that little bit of journaling because this isn't going to be the only layout. I have other pictures than the film strip pictures that I would want to scrapbook. And I just add in the date as well because, you know, you need to have the date. And that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of Scrap Madness for the month of March with Laura and Miranda. It's been super fun being able to participate in that with them. So go ahead and click their channel links down below. Subscribe to all three of us, and I will catch you guys really soon in another video.